Welcome to the airport. After a missed flight and my new friend here, Sophia, she and I both ended up at the same sketchy place having to buy plane tickets again because apparently we don't look worthy enough to fly when we should, so.
See you later.
Peace. A place called Iquitos, and Iquitos is the only city or town you could say in Peru that you can't get to by road. You either got to get there by the Amazon or by plane. And yeah, we've been told not to wander around here too much unattended because you may lose some of your possessions. I am officially in the Amazon, and we are about 2.5 hours away from our first ayahuasca ceremony. I thought I would be more afraid, but primarily excited because everything up until this point has led to this being exactly what I need and what's necessary in my journey right now. I'm sweaty. Very sweaty. It's humid despite how cold it is in Lima right now. It's very warm here. And man, as you can probably hear in the background, this place is alive. Animals everywhere, insects everywhere, ants everywhere. And it's just so beautiful. And we had our mapacho ceremony today where we put in our intentions. And yeah, love came up for me. A lot. I initially had some hesitancy around that, considering how popular that might be. It's a cliche, but it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with that, because at the end of the day, that's my truth. I'm not very good at loving myself. I'm not very good at loving others and keeping an open channel of love. And so it's time. My incredible flatmate has just joined me. This is Daniel.
Hello guys. I'm Daniel from New York City. I guess all I can say is it's a pleasure to share this room with my friend Brandon here. We're about to go on an epic journey tonight at Spirit Quest Sanctuary, led by the one and only Don Howard Lawler. So I just want to say, thank you to the spirits for allowing us to be here to share this space. And I look forward to seeing everybody on the other side.
See you on the other side.
See you on the other side, brother.
There we go. So, Ayahuasca log 2. It's the morning after, or the day after, and our first Ayahuasca ceremony. And yeah, it was a very interesting experience. It did not match any of my expectations. I expected to go a little bit more into the visual kind of space and hallucinate, which many people did, but it seems like the majority of us had quite subtle experiences. just very light. And we were warned about that. We were told that, you know, your first experience may be a little bit lighter, but that, you know, keeping in mind we have 3 more over the next 7 days, and not to get too hung up on that first experience. We're just swinging with my boy Dan here.
It's popping, man.
And he's, yeah, I'd love to get a little bit of insight into your experience.
Sure.
From last night.
So it's definitely hard to put it into words. Don Howard talked about, you know, reciprocity, and that, you know, sacred external exchange that is universal, that give and take. But it basically brought me to the understanding that how we treat ourselves and our relationship with ourselves primarily is the root and the mirror of how we treat everything else. And it starts with our relationship with ourselves and our body, which translates into our relationship with the world and everything else. I'm excited to get deeper and deeper, man. I remember we were talking how, you know, she's like mysteriously, like, she's sexy even, kind of like, she's cheeky, she's promiscuous. Cheeky. I remember one time, like, when I was in it, I was just like throwing her compliments, and I just remember her going like oh. Like that, thank you, for real. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, I see you, I see how you are.
When she went into me and started looking for things to work on, she started tickling me. She started like grabbing me by the ribs, and she was like, "Hey, you feel that? You feel that?"
Hilarious.
My whole body was like, yeah.
Crazy.
You summed that up so well. You captured that beautifully. So, yeah, we'll keep these going, keep these diaries going.
Part 1, just part 1.
Part
we got 3 more ayahuasca ceremonies and then 1 more Bobinsana ceremony. So we have 4 more ceremonies to go, and man, the purging was interesting too, right? The whole like.
I didn't vomit up a quarter of like what it was, so it's in there somewhere.
Word.
Yeah. All in all, I'd say it was pretty good. Disgusting though. Oh my gosh, that stuff is gnarly. I've never tasted a brew like that in my life, and they say it only gets worse. So excited. Now we're gonna head into town and meet into a village, neighboring village, to meet some locals, and yeah, see if we can buy some cool stuff and help them support their little economy. Cheers. Check it out. Okay, one more. So it's day 3 of my 8 days here at Spirit Quest, and day 3 means it's our 2nd ayahuasca ceremony tonight. My first ceremony was quite subtle. I didn't really get a ton of visions. I did have a few, and they were quite subtle, but they did teach me some things which I'm really glad for. But it seems that a lot of the rest of the group were experiencing humongous journeys and experiences, and some people had beautiful experiences, some people had quite horrific experiences, and today we took some time to sit down and share together as a group. It took us about 3 hours to go around the whole circle of what we got out of it, and I guess the big thing for me that I identified was that my initial petition, which we say was like what you were asking for, what you're asking Mother Aya for. My original petition was to please show me my path. And I think I learnt pretty quickly that beneath that there's actually a deeper want and a deeper desire, and that's actually to know how to love myself. And that if I could just let go and unconditionally love myself with compassion, that I wouldn't struggle with imposter syndrome. I wouldn't struggle with, allowing my light to shine onto others. I wouldn't struggle with getting my message out there. And in my life, I've seen that brilliance in moments, but I've been so quick to sabotage it and shut it down. And I don't want to do that anymore in my life. And so I'm going into this second ceremony with a lot more clarity on what it is that I want to ask. And that's to show me ways in which I can love myself. And I think that's where it begins for me. I think that's where it begins. Okay, so it's day 6 of my 8-day adventure, quest, you could say, here in the Amazon just off of Iquitos. And I've been at Spirit Sanctuary now for 6 days, and it has been getting very real. You notice I didn't do a check-in after ceremony 2 or 3 because I just basically had to spend that time journaling and gathering all of the lessons and teachings that Ayahuasca has taught me. And it is just, let alone, just the experience of meeting all these incredible people has been life-changing in itself, but the medicine, it's powerful. Even when you don't think it's doing what you expect it to, she will provide clarity in a backhanded or backwards way. So ceremony 2 was just insanely beautiful. It's changed my life. I've never felt so much love for myself, which is what I asked for. She gave it. And then in the third one, I asked to be shown my full potential. So I was already shown my greatest potential, and I spoke to him, me, and got so much clarity and answers. And then that same night, last night ceremony, I asked to see my greatest potential, and she's like, I've already shown you. And what really came clear to me was how much I feel the need to ask for permission for things, how much I feel the need to seek validation before taking action. I've taken so many things to 80%, so many amazing projects to just 80%, but never launched them because of, fear of failure or fear of it being judged, or just thinking that I didn't have all the permission that I needed to make it happen. And she made it really clear to me. She's like, you just do it. Quit thinking about it. Just fucking do it. Make mistakes. It's going to happen. And so now I've got so much more clarity on how much that doesn't serve me in my life. I kind of knew I was doing it already, but this is what kind of made it real. Because out of 4 ceremonies, the last one being tonight, one of them was not, because of the result, it wasn't wasted, but I could have sought so many other answers and asked many other questions. And so yeah, it was quite an eye-opener, you could say, that she almost rejected me in a sense, but that's where the lesson was. You probably won't see me until after the ceremony, and I'll be checking in with what comes to me in my final ayahuasca experience. Oh, and they weren't wrong. It tastes worse every time you do it. I can just see it into my brain how bad that stuff tastes. She's beautiful, but she sucks to drink. Wow. So, who knew that a route in the Amazon had the power to be so transformative in so many people's lives? I've been here with 20-something other beautiful souls, and we've connected on such incredible, deep levels. And I think one of the conduits to that has been the plant medicine that we've been doing here, that has been facilitated by the incredible Don Howard and Don Robert, Don Eliana, and Don Carlos. And man, my mind, my body, my spirit, and my heart has been cracked wide open. And if it wasn't for that funky, nasty, beautiful, strange brew, I don't think I'd be in the position I am right now to really attack and move forward in the directions that I know I'm now ready to. And words can't really describe this whole experience except for the 5,000 that I've written in my journal. But ultimately, man, shamanic work is so necessary in today's society. It's so necessary in healing the wounds that we are creating back home, back in the cities, back in the hustle and bustle. Just, there's so much damage being done personally and to others around us. And one thing I've really learned since being here at Spirit Quest here in the Amazon has been just how much healing is possible in such a short period of time. I mean, we've seen people overcome some humongous stuff in 8 days. And I can't speak for anyone else, but for me personally, my life is just... Everyone here doesn't want to leave, but I'm ready to. I want to go. I want to go and get started. I want to go and get cracking. I want to really start to leave the impact that I know I can. I know I have been able to, but I just kind of lost the path for a little bit. And so I want to thank, Mother Ayahuasca for these awakenings and for creating this clarity, and Don Howard for, man, the legacy that he's leaving. We don't know if he'll do many more of these. He's unfortunately not too well. But man, if it wasn't for the incredible work that these people do, and and this plant does, I think there'd be many more lost souls out there. And so I'm eternally grateful, and man, ready just to get after it. For those of you that are considering shamanic work and getting it done and partaking in ayahuasca, man, whatever you do, just do your homework, do your research. We've heard so many horror stories of what happened to people that don't do their research. We're lucky to have found the greatest place on earth to do this. But don't just do it with any old hokey that's waving a stick around pretending to be a shaman. Make sure you do your research and go somewhere safe, because this is sacred work, but it can be dangerous for those that don't do it correctly. And so let that be known. Let that be known. And lastly, this isn't psychedelic stuff. This isn't psychedelic drugs. This isn't psychedelic consumption or recreational consumption. This is what we call an entheogen. Okay, it's a plant medicine. It's a healing medicine, and it has just provided so much healing for so many people here since we've been here. So, man, I'm touched. I'm awake. I'm conscious. I'm feeling, and it's time to get back into society. I hope.